Hello, Sarah Starr here of spiritscraft.com, your witch artist and spirit crafter. This is a part 2 video about sacred art and magical painting. I showed you last time the drawing I made of a Sheela-na-gig and how I transferred it to a plaque. And then I talked a little bit about the origin of the Sheela-na-gig and about how magical art is made. Today I want to show you some of my magical materials and how I infuse magic into my art. So I have taken the plaque and begun to outline with paint and put in the background of the Sheela-na-gig. So here she is, all colored in. Hope you can see there. If not, I will make sure to put it on the screen. And so she now is outlined, and some of the background colors are filled in. And when I was painting her, I wanted to put some magical energies into the art from some botanicals. I had been picking some lavender, and so I put some lavender petals in the water that I was using for the paint. This is a water-based paint, and so I dip my paint brushes into the water while I'm painting. And so, you know, with the delightful, fresh and relaxing scent of lavender in there, and the healing botanicals, when I, include that in the paint, it's transferred onto the canvas, and we can real quickly see, now I've been able to put some of the beautiful lavender into the paint, and as you can see here, I hope that we can get this to show. I can bring that into the painting by putting the lavender right into the paint itself. And that's one way to do that, is to include the herbs in the paint, and then you get the extra benefit of those herbal powers and virtues. So like I said, lavender is relaxing and healing, and it just smells beautiful. The other way that you can do something like this is you can make your own paints or inks from scratch. And that's something I love to do. I have made my own inks for quite a while now. I use a base of vodka and wine. Sometimes I put in coffee or tea, and then colorings like laundry bluing, which is very popular in Southern magic, Southern American magic. And so for my blue paint is in this special pen that is made for inks like this, and it is a blue dove's blood ink that I made myself, and it is scented with rose water and lemon balm, which are both romance associated inks. And so this ink can be used for those purposes. And so we would just go ahead and make a romantic sigil out of the ink, and you would be able to then include that in your art. And so when you're making a sigil, you have that benefit of the ink being imbued with these homemade magical herbs brewed over different moon phases. Important resins are included to thicken the ink. And so you have this extra powerful way of making art because you did everything from scratch, right down to pounding the pigments that were put in. So here you can see I made a sigil to go with the Sheila Negeg we're working on, and that is a Wink pen, and it has a syringe in which you dip the tip of this. You dip the tip of this into the ink, and then you will just twirl it to pull the ink in through there. So that's how that works, and they're just wonderful. I suggest looking for them online. That's WINKPEN. Before I got my Wink pen, which just came out, I was using these quill pens, these dip nibs. And this one is one of my favorites. It's actually gold-plated, which means that the ink flows more smoothly off of it. And I want to use it with my green absinthe ink that I made with wormwood and anise in it, so that it will have those intoxicating green fairy properties, which again goes quite well with my Sheila Negeg, because she looks like she's a fairy. Even gave her some wings. So for this one, I would dip this in, and the ink gets captured in this curve of the pen. And then, oh, you can just smell it. It smells amazing with the wormwood and the licorice anise. And so for the purposes of this, you know, it makes a green. And, you know, I'm going to make green fairy. And she's going to be just beautiful. And, oh, that smells so good. Something that really helps me is when the scent of the ink itself is quite intoxicating. And that is definitely the case with this ink. And you can get a real beautiful green color using botanicals like sage and the wormwood I used, and I included some different green dyes in there. I believe I used spinach as my main base, and that was how you get that kind of sage color of green, but I also included that wormwood for that intoxicating scent. So one of the places that I got very excited about doing my own spirit art was from, like we talked about before, Lux Heresis. Now this book is a pretty esoteric, kind of obscure type of text, and it talks about the witch's eye, which is the power of the witch to enliven the art that they make, and also to recognize spirit and magic when they see it, and to transform base or profane materials into sacred, magical, beautiful, to make what is foul fair. And it has its roots in the fairy realms, in which the fairy queen comes from, you know, she can be transformed from this foul hag to the fair queen through appropriate interaction, pact making, and the power of the witch to make the foul fair. So one example would be the Ballad of Thomas the Rhymer, in which the fairy queen becomes ugly, and then through Thomas's love she becomes beautiful again, and that is actually a sex magic story as well. And King Henry is another folk ballad in which the terrible hag becomes beautiful again through the power of King Henry, and again another sex magic tale, which is all very appropriate for what we're doing here. Lux Frescus is by Daniel Schulke, and he is the current magister of the Cultus Abate, one of the few well-known witchcraft orders among the traditional witches that does have an artistic focus. The most well-known work from that order is by the deceased Andrew Chumbley, and that is Azuesha, and it has this type of art that is very uncanny and strange, and it has multiple movements within one picture, in which you can get the impression that an entire ritual is shown in that picture, all of the movements, and it's a kind of automatic drawing in which you have encapsulated movement into one image. And I believe that automatic drawing's greatest influencer is actually Austin Osman Spare. He is kind of the guy who came up with it. Of course, there was automatic writing and automatic drawing before, but he really brought it to the forefront, and he has his particular style. And these pictures on here and on here are automatic drawings. And this beautiful, beautiful picture book shows his how-to, and it's kind of his treatise on automatic drawing. And I've had a great joy to experiment with this, and actually my drawings do come out quite a lot like his, because he gives you the method by which to do that. And you have this beautiful, somewhat grotesque and strange result. And this is one of my favorite pieces here from Austin Osman Spare. So I just want to show you that. Next time, in the next video, I might have some automatic drawings to show you. I usually end up using them in spell work, and so they get burnt or buried or locked away where they can't be seen. But I'll make something just for the video for everyone to see and show you the different types of scribbles that it entails in order to get into the type of automatic drawing trance. So that will be next time. Thank you for having this little art chat with me in my artist studio and bedroom and temple to the sacred art. I'm Sarah Starr at spiritscraft.com. Thank you. Spirits Craft out.